Hello. Welcome back to my pretty little review. Really?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to talk about Daddy Day Camp, The Haunting Hour, and Eclipse. Okay.
So which one we want to talk about first, I think first thing we got to talk about is the your lack of Halo. What happened to that thing?
Heaven took it away.
Heaven took it away? I knew it. I knew it finally happened. You keep fucking around with me, that's what's going to happen right there. You're going to be barred for life soon. You truly are a fallen angel now. Alright, so what we got first?
We're going to talk about The Really You.
You're going to do one episode from the
Yeah.
Haunting? Alright.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
It is the best one of the thing.
Okay. It's about this girl. She's a small brat. And she gets this doll that looks just like her. And the doll, does some bad stuff in the house. And the parents blame it on the girl. And then at the end, she turns into a doll.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, review.
I liked it. I thought it was real scary.
Mm.
Yeah. How about you?
Game of the DVD. I can't do a review about all the DVD. Alright. The Haunting Hour, it's done by it has R.L. Stein's name on it, but I don't think he wrote any of these stories. I think he literally just took his name and threw it on there. In fact, unless he's using like a pseudonym or something like that, I did not see a single, I didn't see his name in the credits anywhere. I don't think he's a producer, writer, I don't think he did anything. I think he literally, it's just, they took his name. They got the property of his name and then did it. With that being said, and I think we're going to call it The Haunting Hour, and it's like a half-hour show. Or 20-minute show if you watch it on DVD. But with that being said, I was always a big fan. When I was a kid, I was a horror kid. I really was. And I didn't care what age the horror was directed at. I mean, I'd watch crazy, blood-soaked slashers, all the way down to shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps. I loved them. And and even now, I know a while back they had a big... they did the the '90s comeback on Nickelodeon, which I missed a lot of it. But I did finally get to catch a couple episodes of my beloved Are You Afraid of the Dark, which I do love that show. And then I know on Cartoon Network for a while, around October they would do Goosebumps reruns. So I always liked those. So I know I got what's the name of that one movie I got? It's The Haunting Hour. I can't remember. It has Tobin Bell on it. Anyways, and it was really good. I liked it. It was actually an actual, I don't know if it's straight to video or what, but it had the Haunting Hour, banner on it. But here's the show, and she found this, and it actually has 5 episodes. One's a 2-parter, and then 3 other episodes. And so, but, she bought it, and I was actually pretty excited, because I was like, hell yeah, want to check this out. And the first thing I noticed is this is actually pretty freaky. I'll take it back. The first episode, what's it called? Really You? Yeah. Really You. It's pretty fucking freaky. I ain't gonna lie. It's literally I jumped 3 times. I jumped 3 fucking times.
Yeah.
That's retarded. I shouldn't be jumping on a kid's show, but I did.
The girl's brother recorded the doll. And it freaked me out.
For one, this doll is just creepy anyways. It is just, it's so lifelike. And once again, it's a very predictable show. There's nothing really out of the ordinary. You can pretty much predict where it's going, what's going to happen. But I think what really sets the first episode apart from the other 3 on the disc is, because we only got volume 1, it only has 5 episodes on it. I would love to get more of these, actually, because they're really good. But there were just certain scenes that we just come... like she said, there's a scene where they're... Yeah, the brother is starting to get catch wind, maybe there is something going on here, so he decides to videotape, the room, make sure the doll, just make sure it's in the parents' room, and of course you see the doll get up, walk off frame, but it pops over real quick, And like, I knew it was gonna happen, and I still jumped. Like they definitely use the sound effect really good on this. They'll put the big loud noise there to make you jump. But however, there's a scare that follows it literally, and I'm not making this up, less than 15 seconds later, and it got me too. And I'm like, holy shit! And then it just, I don't know, and literally the next one happened, and there's a scene in the second part that really freaked me out. It was actually really good. Like I was actually just kind of surprised at, how effective these scares were. And once again, I mean, the story isn't, they're all very predictable. Every one of them, I mean, there's not a single one of them that's like, wow, I couldn't believe that happened. No, I mean, you get the twist really early on. Especially if you grew up watching, I guess it's anthology horror in general. Like, it tells it from the Crypt and Twilight Zone and all that shit always had like a little twist at the end. Well, it was the same thing here. I mean, even the old Goosebumps had those too. I think I'm just kind of, especially the episode, I'm going to jump away from Real You for a second. The Dead Body. It was so bleak. Like, usually the Goosebumps series is kind of like, and most kids, I mean, they'll have a little twist at the end, but usually the kid kind of gets away from it, like, the kid's in danger, and he'll kind of win his little battle. He'll think he vanquished it. We know he didn't vanquish shit, but, he's like, I made it, and he'll leave. And then usually the last little, camera pan back over, and you see, like, whatever the hell he's fighting, open his eyes, or I don't know, the house is still there. Just whatever, insert twist ending there. But usually, I mean, you can always just think, well, at least the kid wins. Like, now it's someone else's problem. Dude, in The Dead Body, it's just, like, it fucks him over just right off the bat. And he never had a chance. The kid never had a chance. And he's screwed at the end. I was like, holy shit, like, that's a really down ending. Was not expecting that. There's one, it's called A Creature Stirring. A Creature Was Stirring. It's a Christmas special. It's really kind of cheesy. It's like a feel-good, like, let's get the family. And of course, there's a creature that's like terrorizing his family, but the family's like going through a divorce. Yeah. The kids are just little fucking brats.
Yeah, one of the kids wrote to Santa to have it, family together.
And then, of course, Santa releases this creature on them. That's what Santa does. But it brings them together in a really cheesy way. But, Twilight Zone always had like a couple episodes where it was just straight up good-hearted. Like, usually their Christmas episodes were like that, though, I remember. But anyways, and then the last episode, I can't remember what it's called, but it dealt with a Nightmare Inn, which you can just tell, I'm just going to say it right now, because you can tell right off the bat, it's werewolves. And it was pretty good. And once again, it's very predictable, but I got to say right now, Really You, though, I'm not sure if that's the first 2 episodes of the actual series or what, but it was awesome. It has Bailey Madison, who we saw as a little girl in Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. She's in this one, and dude, she brings it. Like, there's a few scenes where she just kind of melts down and cries. And you buy it, you're like, holy shit. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the acting in the show is pretty bad. Like, it's very family TV acting. Like, you don't feel like acting is really bad like on Disney Channel compared to, like, other TV shows. Because it's like aimed at kids. And the acting here is about the same way. I mean, just very cheesy and whatnot. However, she just fucking... And with her doing her acting, it really elevated everybody else. Like, you can just tell, like, everybody was just trying to bring their A game to this. Yes, I highly recommend this. If you're a fan of, like, child, horror shows, or if you got kids yourself, and you're like, you want to, if you're one of those parents who are like, well, I don't want them to really see the crazy stuff, I'll break them in with some, family-oriented horror. Boom, there you go. So, yeah, A Haunting Hour. I definitely want to get the rest of them. This is Volume 1. I'm hoping we get like a box set or find the rest of them cheap like we did that one. But all right, Sweetie, what we got next?
Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse about these Victoria, the bad vampire, turns this boy into a new vampire. So she's puts him in charge, but she's actually in charge of just trying to be behind him, whatever. And Victoria made this group to try to kill Bella because Edward killed her mate. So, yeah. James. So, the werewolves and the vampires made a group to attack the new vampires. And then Victoria finally gets killed.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. I love it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Good stuff, is it?
Yeah.
Take over here. Alright, now I think I should add real quick that, and this is complete bullshit, but I have been subjected to watch the first 3 Twilight movies in the past 2 weeks.
3.
Watched Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse in like the past 2 weeks. So, with that being said, and we're not reviewing New Moon because it's her choice not to review it, because the disc we had, you guys see it when we did our DVD updates? That's like the one that had like a fake cover, she lost the cover and DVD just scratched the shit. We got it cleaned at Family Video, but it still skips pretty bad. Which I've already seen it once. She's seen it like a trillion times, but she still feels like, well, since we didn't get a full viewing of it, let's not review it. My quick little review of New Moon, it still sucks. Like, I still fucking hate that movie just about as much as I do fucking Twilight. And the bad thing was, like, Twilight isn't that long. I mean, it feels like it's really long, but it's not that long. But it's just a hit. They're like, well, fuck it. We'll just make every movie like 2 hours now. Alright, so we get to Eclipse. Now, I've never seen this one before. I've seen 1 and 2 before, and then I watched part 5 as our first day. It was part 5.
Yeah.
Almost a year ago.
Yeah.
So, you know, I was not really thrilled to see this one. The one thing I kind of liked was the fact that David Slade was directing. He was the director of 30 Days a Night, which we reviewed that recently too, actually. And you can tell, it definitely has more of a horror feel during, I guess, the intense, frightening scenes. That was rated PG-13 for, like, intense, frightening scenes. Yep, intense sequences of action and violence. Not even horror. But anyways, I mean, so it definitely has, like, that atmosphere look to it. It doesn't help, though, because even during the lovey-dovey scene, it's still very faggy Stephanie Meyer / Catherine, what the fuck her name was from part 1. Hardwick. So it's still pretty fucking, story-wise, we still got this ridiculous fucking love triangle that I'm just fucking sick of at this point. Cause, like, I already know the ending. Like, I've already seen part 5. I already know, like, she's gonna get knocked up by Edward, and they're gonna get married, and he's gonna turn her. That's it. And boom. So now I'm watching this shit knowing, like, Jacob didn't have a chance, and he's still like, I love you, and she's like, I love you too, but just not that way, and blah, 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 blah. I was just in a scene where they're all in a tent. I'm like, this fuck. Just have a big fucking orgy. Just fucking double penetrate her. Or she can get a strap on and they can double penetrate Edward. I don't care, like, what the configuration of this 3-way is. I'll watch it regardless. And it would actually enhance the show. I've said this numerous times that I have not seen the Twilight porn spoofs or parodies. I'm sure they're better than these movies. I'll just say it right now. And at least you get hardcore penetration in those. You don't get that here. Except for the penetration of my soul, which I will, never be able to heal. The movie is pretty fastly paced starting off. I mean, it does have a different girl playing Victoria, which she's not really in part 2 that much. So I didn't even realize there was someone different until a close-up on her, and I realized it was Bryce Dallas Howard, which I'm a fan of because I love The Village and I love Lady in the Water, and she's in both of those. And just knowing it's her, I am just kind of like, okay, I'm liking her role more. And she does. She kind of, brings a little more to it than that other chick did. Which ain't much, obviously, but, she's doing what she can for that paycheck. Which I'm sure that's what everybody's there for, is for the paycheck. But the pace does keep it going. I mean, they do kind of like do this whole, like, because it's almost like the werewolves are trying to recruit Bella and so are the vampires kind of thing. But then, of course, what happens is, like she said, there's all these newborn, because Victoria's pissed, so she creates all these newborn, because when you're newborn, your power's at its peak, and you can just fucking destroy everybody. So she makes an army of them to fuck them all up. And I'm like, okay, cool, here we go. We're going to get a battle. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to the battle. I know it's going to be a bloodless battle. I know that going into it. But that was the best part of the last movie, part 5. There was a big fucking epic battle at the end, and it was cool. It wasn't bloody at all, but it was still cool, So I was like, all right, at least we'll get a good battle out of it. But then they announced the battle early on. They're like, well, shit, they're coming in like 4 days. We're going to train. And then it just takes for fucking ever getting to the battle. There's like a scene where they're like, okay, they literally like they do this thing where they're going to try to hide Bella, so they're like, let's go hide her. Let's do a practice hide, and they do a practice hide. I'm like, really? It's like the day of the battle yet, and I'm like, fuck. We gotta sit through more of this shit, and they just drag it out so fucking much. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. The battle wasn't bad, but at the same time, it just wasn't great. I thought it was interesting to read. I read that David Slade said early on, I guess when Twilight first came out, the movie, he's just like, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, I don't know what he really said, but it was basically along the lines like, fuck Twilight, I will never, ever touch a Twilight movie, ever. And then here he is directing this one, and he's just like, I was just kidding. It's like, no, you saw the O's on that paycheck, but that's what you saw. You saw all those zeros, you're like, I'm in. And I'm not going to lie, I do the same thing. If it was enough, I'd be like, I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. I would definitely have to have like the studio recut it after I'm done with it. I would definitely make it nudity and blood and all that shit and a lot of swearing, but then they'd be like, we can't do that, Phantom. And they'd come in and recut it. And I wouldn't even be mad. Fuck it, I got paid, so fuck you bitches. Yeah, I don't recommend this at all. Like, at all.
If you're a girl, yes.
I guess. If you're a girl or a homosexual, definitely check it out. I don't know. Dude, Kristen Stewart can't act. Like, at this point, at least Edward is kind of growing into his character. So is Jacob. Taylor Lautner and Robert Patterson. But it's still like this bad writing and just bad act. I mean, it just, I don't know. It's like everybody's trying, but it's just like Kristen Stewart can't act. That cunt cannot act at all. So, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I was getting bored out of my mind. Half the time during these things, I'm literally just like got my book out and I'm just kind of writing in my notebook and shit. So, don't recommend it. I say stay away. All right, what we got next?
Daddy Day Camp.
Daddy Day Camp. All right.
Okay. Charlie, right?
Charlie.
Okay. His kid wants to go to a camp, but he's like, the rich guy, what's his name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a rich guy who, like, has a little camp next to the one that he went to, which the one that Charlie went to, it got shut down. Got tore, like, falling apart and stuff. So he decided to get a loan to rebuild it, have a camp, but they had to go against each other. And they had to. Each of them had to win. One of them had to win. Yeah.
Alright. What did you think of it?
I thought the first one was better than this one.
Alright, awesome review, sweetie. Okay, Day Camp. The first thing you're gonna notice right off the bat, it's the same characters, and yet not a single actor from the first one comes back. Like the kid's different, the wife's different, and his buddy's different, but most noticeably
I thought the buddy was the same.
Nope, Jeff Garlin was him in the first one. In the second one, it's some dude named Richard Grant. Is that him? Paul Ray? I have no idea. Paul Ray is who it is. It's Paul Ray. Paul Ray was in Texas Chainsaw. I just recognize that name. I didn't recognize him in the movie, but I recognize his name. Anyway, I think Richard Grant may be the rich guy. It doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, but the biggest difference is Cuba Gooding Jr. subbing in for Eddie Murphy. And you know what's weird is Cuba won Cuba. Is it Cuba? Is it like a country Cuba? I'll say Cuba. Cuba won an Oscar for Jerry Maguire, which I've never seen Jerry Maguire. But I just don't think Cuba's that good of an actor. I didn't think he was that good of an actor. And what was the one we reviewed? Boat Trip. Didn't think he was that good in Boat Trip. I didn't think he was good in Snow Dogs. I don't think he's good in this. I just don't think he's that good of an actor at all. He just goes really cheesy with it. Like, just very fucking, I don't know. I didn't like Norbit, but he had a small part in Norbit. I didn't care for that either.
Oh, I love that movie.
You would. Anyways, so Day Camp, I was not really thrilled to see it, but once again, it's definitely better than the Twilight series, so I know that's one thing I'm doing now. Like, every time she's like, let's watch this movie, I just keep thinking, well, at least it's not Twilight, and then I watch it. Yeah, it's just real. It's literally, it's so dumbed down. The first first one ain't bad. I like the first one. It's, very family oriented, just geared towards little kids. But this one's just like really dumbed down for kids. The best part to me about this is the rich guy he played in Scary Movie 1. He played in Freddy vs. Jason. He was the cop that helps him out in Freddy vs. Jason. He's been in a lot of things. He's always like a supporting guy, comedic actor. Anyways, he plays the rich guy. It's just great because the way he talks down to the kids, like even the kids in his camp, I love it. It's just, I don't know, it was pretty funny about that, but I don't know, the rest of it was just very so-so. Same fucking storyline. The first one was just like, well, they gotta get the house up the coast so they can have kids. Then they gotta get the camp up the coast so they can have kids. It's just same thing. Yeah, and then there's the inevitable, like, they gotta, like, you know, fight them in, like, I forget what they called it, but it was like a camp games, basically. They had to, like, take them down.
Kind of like a tournament.
Yeah, the Olympiad or something like that, as they called it. Yeah, it was just very standard. Really weak ending, too, at the end. Like, there's a big, everybody hugs, and it's like, let's go get our trophy, and it just cuts to the credits, and you're like, really? Like, after we didn't see the kids, like, hoisting the thing. No, it was just like, I don't know, very anticlimactic. It ain't the worst thing I ever watched. I liked it better than Eclipse. But I don't know, it ain't that great either. She's definitely right. The first one is better. But, you know, it's just a new group of kids. Each of them's quirky and weird, and yeah, that's that. Alright, that's all I got on that one, so. Alright, anything else to add?
Catfish.
You want to add cat? No
Yeah.
cat. I didn't watch Catfish, so I'm going to be out. So I'm going to lay down for a little bit. If you guys don't care, actually, I'm just going to take a nap.
Catfish. Okay, it's about this girl. I don't remember her name. And she like, messages Bow Wow. Ow, bud! Okay. So she thinks that she's dating Bow Wow. Cause she's like, Bow Wow sends her like $10,000. So she hits up Neve and Max, the people for Catfish. So they come down and they search like the number and it come up some lady's number. So they meet up again and they tell her everything that they found about this person. So they decided to meet up and found out that it wasn't Bow Wow, it was some chick with a fake profile.
But you sent him $10,000?
Yeah.
What was her end game? Was she just like trying to bang this girl or something? Or?
I don't know.
Huh.
Probably trying to get with her because I guess she was lesbian.
It's pretty hot.
No.
No.
And the girl tried to still be friends with her after all what happens. And the other girl's like, no. That they can't be friends right now. So, yeah, that's it.
What happened? Oh, sorry.
That's it.
That's it?
Ah! Be
All
careful. You talk on the internet.
Alright. So anything else to add, sweetie?
Till next time.
Till next time.
Comment below, video response.
Gotta find the button here.